Good evening, good day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Stacks Club Live. We're doing a Saturday shit show tonight. Got a special show again for you tonight. Joining us tonight, actually, Ahmed and Cam from the cryptos actual we were talking about this before the show, so we're not going to say punks tonight because this is just Chiptos, and this is a very special collection that is completely separate from punks, right? So we're going to talk about NFTs tonight, punks, this collection, some artwork, some very special inspired projects like this tonight that are separating themselves from punks, right? Let's go around the room. Again, thank you guys all for joining us out there, internet land, wherever you are. Appreciate the likes and follows and subscribes. Hit those buttons. Doc, thank you very much for joining. We got the mayor tonight as well with his own Chipto. I keep wanting to say crypto, but Chipto. Cam, bottom right hand corner, and up in the top right is Ahmed under the Gapper Art. Thank you again for joining us. Doc, how the hell are you tonight, man? I'm stammering a little bit tonight for some reason, but good to
I'm
talk to you,
doing
brother.
great. I'm doing great, man. Markets have been good this weekend. Been trading a little bit. Glad to have these guys on tonight. I'm excited for the show. As you know, man, we're just out here trying to provide the best information for our club members that we can get. Um, this is a collection that obviously is close to the heart for us. Chiptos, we've been following since pre-launch. Mayor and I have both been in the Discord, active. You know, it's one of those things where the market's been so flooded lately, we're starting to get a little bit of confusion. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Not much, but we want to know more about the project itself. So
And artwork,
excited,
right? There's
excited to be here tonight, man. Mayor, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm excellent.
there's so much good artwork too. That's actually being inspired by a lot of stuff that's actually going on in crypto in the NFT, entire arena. But you know, I guess we have to say, what we're going to look at tonight is inspired by punks in some way, and a lot of stuff is in good, and that is good thing, right? Like what's
You could
actually
say
going
the
on in the
whole
industry, right?
generative art.
Yeah, it's about inspiring artists and empowering them now, right? Because we're going to put some money in some of these artists' pockets too. Maybe maybe that's a good segue to talk to Ahmed. Say hello to everybody. Introduce yourself. I just wanted to go around the room here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll share my screen too, and talk to Cam here in just a second.
Hey guys, how are you? This
Good
is
man.
Gaper Art. Yeah, just me as an artist. Basically, I started making glitch art, and I made my glitch art via overclocking, overstressing my GPU to the point where my computer would actually glitch, and then I try to capture those. And that took me into this idea of making motherboard art because I was already kind of like abusing my hardware. So why not make art out of hardware? And from there, I created the first physical Chipto Punk, which is like a 20 by 30-inch statue sculpture. Made a frame for it, and we sold that back in May. And then through there, through that drop party is how I met Cam, and Chiptos was born, and here we are now.
That drop party, was that like a live party that you guys did, or something on the internet, or like what was that original release party like?
Yeah, so the original release party it was on Clubhouse,
Mm,
and it was hosted by a group called Nifty Castle. Shout out Nifty Castle. And
yeah.
basically, they held the room for us, and it got to like 100, 200 people at one point. And unfortunately, we didn't sell Chipto that same night, but it did sell 2 weeks later for one ETH. And yeah, so it was a live
We'll pull
it
that
was a
up
live
here.
drop
Yeah,
party.
just a minute, because it's very special. This whole story is really cool, and that's what we like to talk about. And obviously, we want to talk about your story as well. But this is where you met Cam, so this is like a good chance to just say hello to Cam. If you want to just say hello to everybody, kind of introduce yourself. this kind of partnership is the the special things that we learn about in cryptocurrency, and this one's just kind of cool too. So thank you again for joining us as well, Gapper Art. Cam, how the hell are you, man? Good to see you tonight.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good, man. Stoked to be on and yeah, sharing the Chiptos collection. But yeah, for me, I'm a graphic designer and an artist in general, 3D artist, and yeah, like hooked up with Gaper. Yeah, what 3.5 months ago now. Been grinding renders here. In the sauna, multiple computers running for 3.5 months. Getting this high quality stuff out. Yeah, just super stoked to produce this type of art for everybody and just try to really do something unique in the space. So yeah, stoked to be here and yeah, really happy to talk through all this stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah,
let's.
I
I,
just
I
love
want to
the space
share
as a
because I
whole.
feel like people we're like, well, okay, come on, let's look at this stuff, guys. You're just teasing us now. So I'm going to share my screen because if you guys don't know what we're talking about and what Chiptos are and what Cam is and what they've done here with this project, it's actually pretty remarkable. So again, this is the website, and make sure you go, check out their website. Let's get their socials here pulled up too. Go out, follow them on Twitter. These are exactly the kind of people that we want to support, guys. So, real people doing real things out there, pushing the envelope. This project, is not only something that is easy to get behind, it's just got this real crypto feel to it. It's got its own real
For,
vibe.
for all
Even when
us
I was,
nerds,
go ahead. What were you saying?
for all us nerds out there, man.
Oh yeah, this is
I
like
geeked,
it's
I
got that,
geeked the
like
first time I saw this. I
the.
geeked.
Go ahead.
I geeked the first time I saw this. Mayor, I remember him sharing this in the chat room with us. And it was one of those things where it was like, holy shit, dude. Look at what these guys did.
It's so good. It's so good. It reminds me of like Revenge of the Nerds movies, and maybe I'm showing my age, or and you guys haven't even
Right,
seen
right.
those. But there is this kind of like revolution of us old people like having fun again with art and like sharing
Yep.
things in cryptocurrency. And again, there's a lot of just art being flooded, and one man's treasure is another man's trash, and vice versa. And some people appreciate different things when it comes to art, and there's a lot of people that say different things and value different things accordingly, and that's all subjective, right, when it comes to art. But this is one of the ones that kind of just smacked us all in the face just by looking at it, because it's different, it's unique. These are gorgeous renders. I mean, like the just the look of the NFT itself and what you've been able to capture and actually mint. So again, I know we can talk about some of the technicals. This is a high quality render image. Like, this is not just a JPEG, right? So this is a 3D model, right? And we're actually talking about the show because I'm curious. I would not be able to just do something like this, right? Requires extreme amount of technical knowledge, software, the ability to do 3D modeling and rendering. This is not just somebody taking photography or even layering, right? Like, this is actual, you guys, made models out of all this stuff. Is that kind of, in a summary, how that works, right? With a computer generated modeling.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And just to give like a little bit more kind of background. So like I work in the gaming industry and I have been for the last like 15 years. And I kind of, I was trained as a graphic designer, but um, I self-taught myself like Maya and a program called Keyshot. So this is like right here, a look into the Maya viewport and just kind of how we set up the model there. And then scroll down, I think you can see the Keyshot window. So Keyshot is a really deadly program for applying materials, lighting, and doing final renders. Like a lot of really badass like automotive renders you see coming out of Keyshot, like super high quality. So yeah, from here it was taking the models into Keyshot, yeah, applying all those materials, getting everything lit properly, and then yeah, just having fun with all the different properties, making these things pop. You see here you have like the RGB coming out on the RAM, on the eyes, and so forth. So yeah, we just geeked out with all of the computer
The
related.
detail is so
Yeah.
gorgeous. I love the detail. You know, some of our other favorite artwork, even on other blockchains. When you're talking, I think of like Rabbit Hole. When you think that level of
Yep.
detail, like I love looking at stuff. It's
Bitcoin
so pleasing to the
origins.
eye.
Yep. Yeah.
Now,
Oh, go ahead.
is the actual artwork? I know like a lot of NFT stuff they use like the interplanetary file system. This is I'm guessing this is not IFSP or IFS.
IPFS. Yeah, it is on IPFS.
Really? Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know if there was like limitations to that or whatever, but it's it's so amazing. Like one
Before we
of the
get
things
into that, yeah, before we get into that, let's go look at the collection and then some of the renders. But let's talk about while we're in here looking at the about page on their website. So this is the original this is like a one of one now, right? So this was the piece that inspired this collection. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So that's the piece that inspired this
And
collection.
what let's start from the very get-go. Like how the hell did you decide that I'm gonna build this? Like I mean obviously so that's it's a kind of a punk face, right? So was it
Mhm.
inspired by that and how the hell did you decide to do this?
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely inspired by punks. So the way it really started was basically, my glitch art. I liked hardware, and I used to work at a computer plant, and they had this recycling plant in the back, and they had a bunch of these parts, and I asked them if I can go in and buy some parts, and I bought some parts, a couple $100, and I got to work, and my first thought was like, what's the coolest thing in NFTs back in March? It was Crypto Punks. So like I tried to make Crypto Punk, and then we decided on the name Chipto Punks, and then I built it, and then I showed the world, and it was pretty well received. A lot of people liked it, and then we did the drop party, and that got sold, and yeah, that was basically the beginning of this. And then I also built that frame myself with my friend, and that was a unique experience too. If you scroll down to the second picture, right there. So that's us building the frame, and it was a pretty cool experience.
That's awesome.
Well, that turned out gorgeous. And we were talking kind of giggling about this. So this actually got sold, is that correct? But not at the original opening. It was sold later, is that correct?
Yeah, so like all the smaller editions for the project sold out, but the actual one of one didn't sell, and it sold 2 weeks later for one ETH.
So somebody picked that up for one ETH, guys. So
My God.
I mean, I would pay much more than that to put it on my wall right now, and I know that I'll never get a chance. But that's a cool story, right? Obviously, a great
Right.
story.
I'll give you two for it right
Yeah,
now.
I don't
Yeah,
think you're gonna get a chance, buddy. He had mentioned, that a collector
Yeah,
had
that's
picked it up,
beautiful.
and I'm sure it's being taken care of, right? So,
yeah, it's crazy to be in this moment as compared to that one, where
right, looking back
I
on
was
it
like,
now.
yeah, like I was sad, or I was not sad, but I was like discouraged after it didn't sell. After putting so much work into it,
Yeah.
and finally selling it for one ETH. I was like, let's go. I was so excited when I sold it. And now looking back on it, people are like, oh, I would have gave you so much more. It's like, wow, it's
Right.
crazy.
Now,
Yeah.
so the pieces themselves, are they was this generative too? So like you guys had all your pieces and then we put these into a program and then they were randomly created like this?
No, so all of these were made by hand. The only generative aspect of this was like the traits list.
Okay.
And so me and Cam, we brainstormed a whole trait list, possible traits, what it would look like. Cam would see if it's possible to do. And then from there, we programmed the rarities. And based on the rarities, we had this list that gave us these random traits. And then Cam made these one by one, based on that list.
And there's 512 of them, correct? They're
Correct.
all gorgeous and like fun and funny and unique and
Right.
just beautiful. I mean, there's no bad ones in this collection either, and that's what I think what uh kind of makes a sign of a good collection too. Like, again, I'm sure that people have their favorites. And maybe you guys can kind of talk about that too. So, we can look at trends in the market and stuff and kind of see, hey, what's going for what. But like, do you guys have favorites? Is there like lower mints that like hold higher value to you guys? Is it pretty much, you just love them all? They're like your children, or what's your take?
I mean, for me personally, I absolutely have a favorite. I'm going to show you right now.
Okay.
Um, it is a gold RGB white cords hair with VR glasses. Let me see if I can find it on OpenSea and send you guys the number.
Yeah.
But this one is just something about it, man. It's just beautiful.
I mean, they're all beautiful.
They
They
are,
are.
but this one is like 92. If you go to 92 on OpenSea or on the gallery, that works as well.
Oh,
If you just open any of those and then type in 92 at the bottom or on the URL, I mean. Yep, so like open any of those. And then you see in the URL the last three numbers, just change that to 92. Yeah, this one's my favorite right here.
oh yeah, with the kind of
Wow.
bronze gold look. It's just the detail and the pop of
Uh,
I don't even know what that is. I mean, that's the board detail, right? Like, oh, it's just engraved in there and just gold and gorgeous and glossy.
Wow. What a
Yeah,
great.
I want to.
The VR glasses.
So,
The
are you kind
VR
of
glasses
pushing the
are one of my
limits
favorites
of
too.
IPFS here? Is this a pretty big file like this, or is
That's
it
like 20 megabytes. I
okay?
mean, there's really no limit to IPFS. It's just if someone's willing to store it, then
Yeah,
it's available.
actually, I was curious about that because I've heard kind of different things. So, like, like even some of the stuff that we've done is push 25, and I know you can go beyond that, but I guess it kind of depends on whatever you're using or software. Like, we've messed with Pinata and stuff, but I don't know what you guys actually use for this stuff.
Yeah, we use Pinata. And
Okay.
before we get off topic, Cam, did you want to share your favorite?
Yeah, I have to. I have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to 255.
255.
I can pull up the GIF too, which just like kind of goes through all the faces. It's so cool. And then you put it with a little techno music, and I could just sit there and watch it for hours. Yeah, I think
Yeah, so
I like the purple too, like out of the blue purple. It's just like
Oh,
prismatic like that. It's just so
I love
gorgeous.
the I love the Ethereum eyes.
Yeah, the Ethereum
Uh,
eyeballs.
it like almost makes him look geeky and sophisticated.
Now were these chips and then you just kind of, put your own print on them or what?
that's right. Yeah, there's CPUs, and then
Uh-huh.
yeah, we just came up with our logo, and we put the ETH there, and it says like Gaper Quiz One is like my artist name. So just Gaper Quiz One Microtech, just like a little branded little
So
CPU there.
gorgeous. So
But yeah,
gorgeous.
this one, like for me, like I don't know, this one is like a statue made of glass, right? Like so you have like the liquid cooling
That's what I was
tubes.
gonna ask you. Are those like
Yeah,
actual, tubing
Yeah.
for
yeah,
liquid
yeah.
cooling? Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it was just crazy. I mean, so this board type is called iridescent glass. So, like,
and you
if
can
you look
see you
closely,
can see the tubes through the
Yeah, you can see
board.
yes,
through it.
Oh,
yeah. So it's pretty nuts. That's why I like this one. It's like it's kind of unrealistic. Like, I don't think there's actually like iridescent glass motherboards in the real world. I mean, maybe there
there
is, but
should be, damn it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I like to build pretty rigs. And actually that, rig building, when you're just doing brute force is different from, RGBs and making it look pretty and nice. But there's like a lot of that built into boards and stuff now. It didn't used to be like that in the past, right? You built a Frankenstein computer in the past, it looked awful. And now, it's kind of come full circle where there's a lot of design and, people want some eye candy and a lot of
going.
rigs look really nice and pretty.
Yeah, and actually on that, so I just sent you a message on Discord, and part of the process of building this whole project was actually building a new computer.
Really?
So yeah, I had like an Intel Xeon, like a beast computer. It was like 18 cores, 32 threads, 2080 super GPU, and it just wasn't cutting it. It was taking like an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, halfway through, or less than halfway, we had like 100 of them rendered, and I was just like, dude, this is going to take way too long. So, you know, I have another project that I did pretty good with. It's called Rare Diamond Hands, but that one sold out. So I had a bit of profit from that. I was like, you know what, I want to invest in myself and in this project. So we built a badass computer for this project, and yeah, it's like a Threadripper 3090 GPU. It's like a real beast. So
That's
yeah,
what
we're
you're
able to.
using to just do all these nasty like renders. Like how long does it take like some of these things? Are we talking like hours or like, when
Yeah,
you're
so the old computer, like, and it was a beast in itself. Like, it was a very good computer, you know, and it was doing it in about an hour and 15 minutes per render. And the new computer cut that down to about 40 to 45 minutes.
And so what we're talking about here, guys, is just the amount of computing power that it's taking him to build a 3D model and then render it. The I can't even explain, the amount of detail that's included in this render like this. This would be, any kind of
Layers upon
yeah,
layers.
any kind of computer that was not an ultra gaming rig or like ready to ooh-wop on a pretty decent gaming setup would basically shit itself trying to render this image, right? Or
Yep.
even like do anything with it. And then, obviously they had to do their modeling, make adjustments, and, put all this stuff together. And I mean, I'm sure there was plenty of iterations, right? It wasn't just a one and done a lot of times, sure, I'm sure as well. So after your hour and 15-minute render, you get to do another one, right?
That's right. Yeah, there was renders going
Yeah,
off
yeah.
all the time. And then even some of the renders, like we had an issue or we seen something we didn't like and we had to re-render. Like, yeah, there was a lot of redoing stuff and just trying to get everything right. So yeah, definitely a long process.
Thanks
In
for
my
joining, Vic, out there. I just wanted to say holler at him on the chat. He's watching this, saying the same thing. Like so much detail in this. Again, if you're an artist and you
Yeah, you
appreciate,
understand.
this, I mean, this is just the level of detail in this
Yep.
is what attracted to us this project right away. Regardless of the OpenSea stuff and the rarities and all that stuff, which obviously is also attracting value to it too. But this is just gorgeous. I mean, this is just gorgeous work. So again, hats off to you guys. Pat yourself on the back. I know it's probably been a crazy, couple of months, and now you're coming on shows and trying to get a little marketing out there. So if we can help you with that, we'll absolutely will. And kind of what we're doing here tonight. So make sure to hit those follows and likes and subscribes. But it goes beyond this too, right? So you guys have some plans. We're talking about you guys have already done some charity work as well. Everything I hear about this sounds good. So let's elaborate on that a little bit too.
Yeah. So we wanted, me and Cam wanted to give back, uh, like we wanted to give back hardware, right? Because that was what the project's kind of based on, and we wanted to buy either iPads, laptops, or computers for kids. And currently, we are working with, um, with like a local organization here where I live. We're going to give this PC to someone that the organization finds, like a kid who may not be able to afford it, who's like artistically inclined or technically inclined. And we're also still looking for that foundation that we can give a lump sum to that accepts crypto.
Oh,
Very nice.
that sounds awesome. We are looking into, charities as well. Most of the work we do is pretty much not for profit now anyway. But crypto makes it easy to do a lot of crowdsourcing and funding and donations to charities. But what we want to avoid, and maybe this is kind of a topic for another show, what we want to avoid is gathering money and then giving it to the same charities that just aren't using it right. I mean, that's kind of what's happening. Like some of the big charities are almost operated like corporations today, and their salaries and budgets and all that crap. And then by the time your donations go somewhere, it really doesn't end up going to the place that you'd hoped it would, right? But what we're talking about today, right? Payment systems changing, enabling artists, enabling small businesses, enabling people that are actually really out there in the real world, helping people, building computers for kids to help them, learn about computers at early ages, places that, maybe they don't have exposure or they can't, they don't have the money, quite frankly, to get a personal computer right now, right? Now, the good news with that is, though, pretty much everybody's got a cell phone these days, and the world's getting smaller, and computers are getting smaller. But at the same time, we were just talking about, like, when you really need to build like a ultra powerful machine or gaming computer, not only are your options pretty limited, but it starts getting really expensive, like really expensive. So there's definitely a bottleneck. There always was, always was, even when I was building computers. There's always kind of like a middle ground, right? So you got your kind of like, stuff that's a couple of years old and it's a little bit cheaper, and you can kind of build a computer down there. Then you got the mid grade that was usually kind of the you know the best sweet spot value for your money, and then you got what's the highest end, fastest stuff, the latest graphics card, everything you can possibly put in it, the bells and whistles, right, before it becomes outdated in another 3 years. And that's just kind of how it is, right? That's how it was when I was GPU mining. I've got boxes full of stuff that looks just like this laying around. I was joking before, with you guys, like, now I'm like thinking about just like laying some of this stuff, a box of parts out on the floor, and seeing what I can create out of it. But I'm not an artist, you know what I mean? Like, this is just like how this came out of your mind, and you put it on a canvas like this. I appreciate. Because I can't do this, right? Like, I have an eye for art. I love art. I value artists and appreciate art. But this is not something that I could do. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, man, everybody's an artist. I firmly believe that. I like, I think if anyone just sits in front of, a canvas, whether it be your computer or like, in front of a bunch of parts, like, you can eventually put something together. And it may not come in that first day. It may come 4 weeks later, but you never get to that 4 week point if you're not, trying to do it for 4 weeks.
well, that's
I agree.
inspiring, and I appreciate you saying that. But it might not come out looking like this. We'll put it that way.
Well,
I'm
I
sure I
think
can put something together.
I think naturally as humans, we all have a creative side. But like you said, Gaper, everyone has a different canvas. So, I mean, just like Biff, just like you and I were talking earlier this week, I'm an auto body technician by trade. My
Hmm.
canvas is cars. I can literally cut apart a car and put it back together, and you would never even know. But
It's impressive.
average Joe couldn't do that. And I realize that. But at the same time, this is something that, this would have never come out of one of my brainstorms. As much as I love computers, as much as I've geeked out throughout my entire childhood, playing video games, doing, indulging myself in any kind of technology I could, trying to get the newest technology as it comes out. But this is just, I mean, this is beautiful. This sums up, in my opinion, my entire childhood and brings it into my new life, which is collecting NFTs, cryptocurrency, spreading awareness in the community, and like we say at Goldman Stacks all the time, supporting real people building real things. You look at what you're doing here, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
just a lot of fun too, right? Like,
yeah,
I think that's
most
if
fun
you
I've
can't
had
have
in.
fun in crypto right now, like, and I know that's even like a fallacy, or people don't like saying that, or like traditional Bitcoiners like don't even like it when you say, "Hey, in crypto," right? Because it's just Bitcoin or whatever. That's not what I hope that people stop focusing on that and stop focusing on coins and investment vehicles and start focusing on this, because this is fun, right? This is expression, this is art, this is what we've got away from in a lot of, not just art, right, but entertainment, music, right, just expression of arts in general, because of the corporate nonsense, because of the contracts and the money, and just the things that have stacked over time, over the last decades, right? To the point where starving artists became starving because they have, you know, this wall of competition that's almost impossible to get beyond unless you're a big name, unless you're, you know, with some huge, you know, major contract or promoter or whatever. And you know, that's what Ethereum and these, you know, OpenSea collections and other blockchains as well, like Wax, that we're, you know, messing around with. Now you're starting to hear NFTs popping up on almost every one of them. And then you include the gaming, right, and music, and now you start, you know, you kind of include all that together. Then you start, you know, then I can start developing an opinion like, okay, you know, this is much bigger, right? This is much bigger than just, you know, one certain thing. And then I start getting excited and optimistic, and you guys can stop me at any point here because I know I'm starting to ramble and get geeky and giddy. But it's true. It's true. Like, this is what we're passionate about, enabling, you know, people and inspiring people to go out there and push buttons, grab a box of parts, make something, right? Make some art, go out there and hit those paintbrushes and splatter it, right? And create some sort of rendering on your own if you don't know how to learn, right? Even taking some photography and minting it on the blockchain now. People are being very successful just showing your, you know, get yourself out there, get yourself off zero. Don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I've minted all kinds of stuff on multiple blockchains that's awful, right? Don't be afraid to do that, right? I mean, if that's, I guess, my suggestion.
Learn.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can kind of listen to the story and, like, you know, what these guys and how they met, and, you know, now they have a nice, beautiful collection here that's, you know, obviously successful. Talk about their long-term aspirations and stuff. You know, if you guys have, you know, future goals or anything you want to plug, absolutely too. But you
That
know,
was one of the things I wanted to ask
yeah.
about. What are some of the future plans for the Chiptos project? Do you guys have aspirations for a second release? Airdrops for your community? I know that's one thing that really adds value to some of these collections is, you know, aspirations of future drops or future collections to be able to add to your actual Chipto Punk. I mean, if from my point of view, I'm looking at it and seeing something that, I mean, you have the potential to build out an entire character here that,
These are just so cool. Yeah,
well,
these
and
are just so
essentially
cool.
you could deploy this into something like Decentraland or Cryptovoxels or something like that, had the contract been written correctly. That was something I was curious about. Do you guys have aspirations for that?
Yep, absolutely. So like, you know, this Chiptos is just the start, especially for the motherboard art. We have plans of doing a larger line, maybe 4 to 6 thousand. You know, especially for those collectors like yourself who are, you know, geeky, techie, nerdy, who really like the computer
Right.
stuff as much as we do. And so that's kind of the next vision for this brand. And then we also want to guarantee Chipto holders a free mint on that collection.
Nice.
Nice.
Very cool.
Now, Mayor, you got, you know, involved in this one early on. I didn't even ask you. Now I know that you just kind of grabbed some, but how did you how did you find this collection originally? I don't even remember how we originally started talking.
Well,
And when was this released? How long has it been out on OpenSea like this?
um, I don't remember. What was it? The last week of,
2 weeks.
It was
2 weeks and 1 day.
August 20th is the day that it minted.
Yep.
Okay, so this really hasn't been
yeah.
out
Oh
that
yeah,
long.
yeah, August 20th. So my story is just kind of interesting because like I seen this, and when you guys were teasing it like a month ago or whatever, I was absolutely priced out, and I was like, man, there's no way. Like, well, I wasn't really priced out, but I knew that what did these mint for? 0.35,
0.2.
0.2.
0.2. I knew there was no way. I was like 512. Like I knew there was no way I was going to get one, and then I just knew that like the floor was going to go through the roof. So I kind of like gave up on the idea of getting one, and then I caught the curio card wave, which we've been covering curio cards, and I was fortunate enough to be able to take some profits on that. And then when this dropped, I had like taken some profit. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get one. And I actually was there for the drop. I watched them all get minted, and then it was like the floor went to 2, and I FOMO'd in, and I just bought one before the reveal. I bought one for 2 Ethereum. You couldn't get one, and a lot of people were bummed out. And then I had one, and I got number 90, and I didn't real it. I mean, it's great, but it wasn't. I mean, when I seen this one I have now, like I got really bad FOMO, and I was like, man, I got to get that one. But the one I had the overclocked eyes, which was like one of the more rare traits.
Oh, nice.
We didn't talk about the rarity of the traits. So you mentioned that you had traits and then you built them, but there were rarities on these. So some of the traits are more rare than others.
Yeah, if you go to the main Chiptos page on OpenSea, just click Chiptos, and then go to like scroll down to the side, scroll down a little bit, and then go over to like eyes, and like open up the eyes. Click the eyes tab.
Oh, okay, I got it.
And then
Here,
like if you go down, the most rare eyes is only like 8 or 10 of them or something. But anyways, I ended up flipping that one, and I sold some other stuff. I had a meta key, I dumped that, and I snagged this guy at like 3.5 Ethereum, which was a pretty high bid. It was like day 2 or 3. Like
I have to have one with an iridescent board now. So Cam sold me on that. Now I have to have one with a see-through board. So I'm just gonna have to shop one of these.
Yo, check
Okay.
it. This
Gotta
one isn't
get rid of
iridescent,
that
but
thing
this one's my
recently.
second favorite. Check out number 72.
Yo, real quick, how much did you sell that overclocked eyes for?
I think like maybe 2 Ethereum or maybe no 3. I think I got 3. I think I made 1 ETH off them. But the floor on him was like 8. But I really wanted to get this guy I got now, so I just dumped him for like 3 Ethereum.
That's pretty badass too. It definitely, the colors pop on this black board.
The
Like
black is so badass, and like this one with the RGB, like this one's just loaded, you know. So yeah,
Yeah, dude. That
it looks
dude's
so
like
menacing. It looks like a
for a
Terminator or
raid.
something.
It does. It does. It does. It looks like he's about to kick some ass, like right out of the screen. Somebody's about to get their butt kicked.
That or he's ready to eat some ecstasy and rave.
Well, I told you the rave party music goes well in the background on these. I
Yeah,
was
it
just goofing
does.
around. I mean, I just kind of hear it playing right now in my ears. You know, those are absolutely gorgeous. Again, there's no bad one.
There's really not. I like the alien skin. I like the overclocked orange boards. I like the rainbow hair.
Such an original project, man. I mean, I get it where the inspiration came from, but my God, can't deny
but-
the art, the amount of artwork and time that went into it.
These are the kind of things too, and you know, we were talking about rabbit hole, but every time you look at one of these, you see something else, some
Yeah.
intricate detail, you know, in the board or in the art or something they did or the hair, or you know, again, each one has the kind of their own little attributes. They
Well,
also
you
have their
see
own subtle little
similarities,
differences.
but you see similarities across the different ones, but you also see what sets them apart too. That's what's amazing about it. It's like, you know, the whole generative art scene and you know, avatar scene, it has become flooded, but you see collections like this that really set themselves apart, in my opinion.
We didn't talk about the
The-
drop. Now I know that's
the-
been kind of a pain point for some drops. Did you guys have issues with gas or, you know, the drop itself, the mechanics of it?
As far as the drop goes, you know, I don't think the gas was an issue, but you know, we sold out in like 6 seconds, so we didn't really notice it.
Right.
But you know, we did run into some problems with the drop. You know, one guy minted 150,
right?
He had made his own smart contract to send through like, hundreds of transactions, and that alone was like cool. It's like this new thing from DeFi called bundling. It's kind of like a flash loan.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing happened to Force the night before, where some guy minted 210, like the same instant that the contract went live.
And
And it's
obviously that's
something,
not
you
something
just can't avoid.
you'd want, right? You wouldn't want somebody to be able to go ahead and mint 150 of them and kind of hold that part of the supply of your project. But yeah, no, I totally understand. And there's always going to people that are kind of trying to stay one step ahead. And especially a collection like this, it's obviously very desirable. And not a whole lot of mints, right? 512 mints. So
Well, I do
um,
understand that individual was in the Discord. Were you guys able to resolve any of that supply with him? I know it's been a real busy couple weeks for us here at Stacks, so I wasn't able to follow up. But
yeah, how did you guys? I mean, again, you don't have to talk about that if it's private, but we're just kind of curious.
I mean, no, like, nothing private here. We didn't talk to him at all. We don't even know who that person is. He
Okay.
kind of just sold all of his, and
I know who it is.
the
I was gonna say
The mayor knows
I
everybody. You didn't know we had the
Wait,
mayor
who?
on the show, did you?
Yeah, wait,
It's
who do you
one
think
of
it
the
is?
board apes. It's one of the board apes on I forget what, I think it's like Lords at Lord something.
Nah,
Oh,
It's one of
so
the apes.
that guy was a liar.
yeah, there was a dude claiming he did it, but
Really?
yeah, he we were asking him certain questions, and in the end,
Lord Nasty.
Lord Nifty,
Yeah, nah, he's
yeah,
a faker, bro.
Yeah.
he was faking it for sure, and
Nice.
Well, let's
Yep.
talk about that for a second. So now we got like this whole NFT craze, right? And
Yep.
now everyone's got one of these things in their avatars, whether or not they're holding them or not. And like Twitter is like, hey, I've got 1,000 ETH,
By the way,
retweet and
welcome to
follow me or
blockchain.
whatever, and I might give you some. What were you gonna say?
I said, welcome to blockchain. It's
Yeah,
verified.
you know how it goes. So now we got it's like, it's not only NFT mania, but it's punk mania. So everyone's got to jump on board and wants to be part of the club, even if they're not holding one. What is your guys' take on just the entire mania right now?
I think it's great. I think it's definitely, there's a reason that this is happening, right? If you look at any new artistic medium just throughout history, there's always those couple people, couple projects that shine through and live on through centuries. Like, or Van Gogh with his style. I don't know the exact term, impressionism maybe, like Da Vinci with oil painting. Like, it's like a no-brainer that the next Da Vinci, the next Picasso is going to come out of this scene, and come out of this community in this era of art. So I think it's definitely warranted, and I think the mass not inflation, but the crazy value of Ethereum and its like rise in price is making these prices like look even larger than they actually are. Because someone who got 100 Ethereum for $1 each doesn't care about spending $50 on an art piece, but that
Well,
looks like
even the guys that were buying it a year and a half ago at $89 a coin. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that was only a year and a half ago. So you got to think the boom really didn't happen until 6 months ago, where it really
Mhm.
priced some people out of actually buying the coin. And then you have the miner side of it. I mean, I've got a buddy who's been mining Ethereum since 2017 and never turned off. So for him, entering the market was a no-brainer. So you've got a lot of guys that are doing that as well. And then you've got enthusiasts too who already loved art, who already were hooked up with Ethereum. So the melt is there for that perfect brew. You know what I mean?
We're looking at your glyphs collection that predates this, I'm assuming, excuse me. And you talked about glyph art and even some kind of stuff that you were doing, like just with like errors and stuff. That was kind of interesting. Talk a little bit about just glitch art and kind of how this, like, where does this come from? Like how is this even made?
Yeah, so that collection is based on the color glyphs, and I took each one and I glitched it through my glitching, method where I overclock my CPU. And this collection actually I don't even talk about unless it's brought up, and it's kind of something like that I let people find out for themselves and then buy it if they'd like.
So I just spoiled
Um,
everything.
no, no, like
Oh, okay.
you don't know who's listening, but like I said, if it's brought up, I talk about it. But if not, this is kind of like something that I just let sit in the background and let people pick up over time.
These
Well,
are,
if
yeah,
you
go
get a
ahead.
chance, Gaper, I'd like to encourage you to watch some of our past shows. That's what
Hmm.
we like to do at Stacks. We like to research some of these gems, some of these hidden gems that people may not otherwise know about. We did a show on curio cards when the floor was still 0.01. So, yeah.
Well, that's how we explore, just like this, right? And we didn't have to do it on stream. We would just click on
Yeah.
stuff, talk to each other. Hey, is this
Yep.
real or a scam? Or, like,
Hmm.
again, we were talking about a few years ago. It was like you actually kind of had to go look for things when it was art or games or whatever that were blockchain related or supporting crypto artists. And even a Curio Cards project, that was 2017, 2018. We had no idea that existed. And, was it because they didn't market the project or whatever? Not necessarily. It's just because the reach and the organization and the kind of secular nature of a lot of things uh, were even more so then. But I feel like, the NFTs have just become shareable blockchain fun, right? And that is what kind of created this whole, revolution. And the fact that punks and all of these other NFTs are going for hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, I love as well. I obviously the artist part of that and putting money in people's pockets outside the corporations, I think is great. And that's exactly what our club and company, is trying to do and promote and kind of build, things for the future. But it also is just kind of I don't know, it's making fun of the current financial system in some ways, right? Like,
Hmm.
I mean, people really spend millions of dollars on JPEGs, right? I mean, it is what it is, right? And they love them and they don't care. And it's about collecting them. And, if something inspires you or makes you smile when you look at it every day, or, your Twitter profile page or whatever, who cares, right? Because it's to each his own. And, again, I'm gonna take a deep breath there because it's just nice. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you guys and Cam and talk to you guys about your project and your story and how you ended up here. And I kind of feel like that all had to happen for us to end up here. Now people are starting to kind of see the possibilities of scarce, digitally created and traded items. And again, hats off to you guys for putting this together. We look forward to like following you in the future, kind of seeing where this goes as well. But the future for artists and pretty much anybody, I think that's willing to put themselves out there to put a collection together, to put a little hard work into it, and not be afraid to put themselves out there will be rewarded. Like now's the time. If you're an artist, put your music on a blockchain, right? Put your music on the NFTs. You don't even really need art right now. Get with an artist, make some snazzy drop, right? And it's really not even that hard anymore. It doesn't have to be on Ethereum. Maybe you guys can talk about that too. Um, are you OpenSea specific? Are you looking at other marketplaces? Have you done work? How much, is it very difficult to mint these things? Like, do you have preferences? Have you tried Rarible, et cetera, et cetera? Talk about that maybe just for a minute.
Yeah, so we have our own ERC 721 contract, and the marketplace we use is OpenSea just because that pretty much is standard at this point.
Hmm.
And yeah, so people mint from the contract or our website, and it shows up on OpenSea.
Okay. The actual minting though, you guys did from your website.
Yeah, but you can do that from the contract as well.
Okay. Are you planning another drop? or is there, again, is that something that you guys have talked about? Or is it more just going to be like the next one's going to be more for token holders?
Yeah, so like the token holders are going to have one reserved.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we'll have a public sale.
Okay. Is there a date on that, or I'm not trying to press you guys, but you know, we're
No,
looking
no
for
date
insider
yet.
information here, and I want to make sure that I don't miss the next one. So
No date yet, but
okay,
we'll
Nice.
let you guys know. Absolutely.
So as far as inspiration for individual traits on your Chipto Punks, I know obviously you're kind of limited artistically based on what the computer parts look like, but was there a process you and Cam went through to decide this guy's gonna have surfer hair, this guy's gonna have a hat, and then as far as rarity, how did you decide like glitch eyes, which ones were going to be the most, or the clocked eyes or whatever, which ones were going to be the most rare?
So we followed like conventional rarity standards. Like gold is more rare. And then also like the alien in CryptoPunks is the rarest. And then we took a lot of inspiration from the punk traits, like the 3D glasses, the purple hat. The
Right.
liquid cooling was something that we just took from PCs. And that's kind of where we went with the rarities.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Biff, can you pull up go to the traits and pull up the boards and pull up the aliens, because those are some of the nicest ones to me.
Yeah, and so
On the side.
also, Biff, I sent you a link on Discord, which is our link on rarity tools, so you can actually look at what the algorithm is determining as the most rare in the set as well.
Oh, you guys got on rarity tools? You got to scroll down, Biff, on over those traits. If you wheel down, yeah.
Yeah, alien.
So
Yep.
you guys are on rarity tools now, huh?
Yeah. I'd say go over there and check it out. It's
I might
it's
not
pretty
have got
interesting.
it. I might not have got that link. If you want to just send it to me in the chat in the
Oh, okay,
Zoom,
yeah.
or I'm on Zoomer streamer mode, so I might not have gotten it. Just
So look
Gotcha.
at the floor prices on these aliens. So
okay.
this
So
is the
yeah,
most,
this is an alien board. I didn't even really look at this one. That's kind
yeah,
of cool.
the most rare board is the alien skin color, and my favorite one is I think it's 352 with the VR glasses and the gold. That's like my favorite one of the whole collection.
That one's number 4 overall on rarity tools.
Oh yeah,
352. You
imagine.
said.
I feel like pretty confident mine's gonna have a good rarity score, but I mean, I guess I could be wrong.
I put the link in the chat for rarity tools.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so dope. That one, the gold chain, gold hair, VR glasses,
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
and
I
that
like the
one got
gold.
scooped up. That one went for 10 ETH, I think.
Okay. Put this in the chat as well.
So let's run my guy through here and see where I stack up. I see the aliens are all high on the high end.
So it's saying that this is the most rare one based on ranks.
Yeah, and we think because this one has 8 traits, that was the reason why it determined as most rare.
Oh, right.
The owner is EA Sports. Is that the EA Sports?
I was looking at that and I was wondering, like, who is that? Like, does he work at EA? Like,
let's go peek at him. See what he's got. He's got a few of them.
I definitely think it's EA Sports.
The owner of EA Sports.
Yeah,
Right. Squatting on
I think if it was, he'd have a bigger wallet than this, probably.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you
all he
never
wanted
know.
was Chiptos, and that's it.
You never know.
He does have the most rare Chipto.
Yeah.
All right, Biff, you got to find my guy here.
Okay.
447, or you can search it.
On the left side, on the top, on the ID field there, you can just plug it in. Yep.
I think it's 447.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's,
Well, that's
pretty
pretty
good
good.
looking.
154, yeah.
Again, there's no bad looking ones. They're all gorgeous.
Not too bad.
And I love the way they, you actually have a little, you know, panning of the boards as well, so you can kind of, it just gives you that 3D feel to
Yeah.
it.
That
Any
was key. Yep.
any aspirations of rendering them in AR? I know Mayor of Matic
Or yeah,
just,
like metaverse. I mean,
just did his degen in AR.
So we've thought about that kind of stuff. A lot of the AR engines and whatnot, they have like a limited poly count.
Right.
So they take more simple models, and these things are like, I don't know if they're in
Yeah.
the millions, but they're
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
they're about
Like,
as
yeah, yeah.
they're about as advanced as you get for avatars right now.
yeah, these are badass. And Cam, and we didn't talk about kind of like your, you know, crypto background as well. You mentioned you're a graphic designer and stuff, but like, how did both of you guys, you know, end up in this crazy industry?
Well, like for me, I think it was around, everybody been working from home who works in like tech industry and whatever. So like for me, I think it was around December or something. And I just had a buddy kind of hit me up. He was like, yo, like, why don't you jump onto this app called Clubhouse? So I was like, whatever. I like started to put in my kind of interests in like tech and entrepreneurship and art and whatever. And all these NFT rooms started coming up. And then I seen this tweet on like Beeple and all this. And I was like, what the fuck? So like, I'm an artist, like grew up as a graffiti artist actually back in the day. And then working at a gaming company. So I do 3D, I do design, I do art. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like this is perfect for me. Okay, let's go. So, and what you're looking at now is actually my first collection. So like I did this, I want to say I launched this about 5 months ago. And it was a slow go, but they all sold out eventually. There's just 100 of these rare diamond hands. And yeah, so this was my first sort of
Oh,
collection.
you did these.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know you
This
did
was-
I've
these.
I've
Yeah.
seen these floating around. Yeah.
No shit, man.
Yeah, and
Wow,
these actually rotate too.
congratulations,
So
man.
if you go to the open sea, yeah, you can see them spin here too. So
Oh, sick.
yeah,
I
and
didn't
we're
know
actually
you did
thinking
these, man.
of doing something interesting because there's only 50, I think, holders of rare diamond hands, and there's 299 holders of Chiptos currently, possibly offering some kind of cross benefits on both collections. So
Oh,
maybe
that's
the
cool.
holders of a diamond hand
I've
would get a
nerded
new
into some of
Chipto.
these others too. I love how you do like your detail, like just on the
Yeah.
border, and
Well,
like I love fliny, you know, shiny, flashy things, and just, you
Yep.
know, this is gorgeous.
I'm
Yeah,
just
thanks.
telling
Yeah.
you, as someone who does restoration and stuff like that for a profession, your attention to detail is it sets you apart from a lot of the others in the game. That's my opinion.
Yo, thank you. I'm glad you say that and notice that a lot of people say that. And like, that's what I take to heart. Like literally, like I will fucking get crazy over the detail and,
Yeah.
I'm looking at like
No, I
every
can tell.
aspect and yeah. So yeah, definitely. That's one of my main sort of philosophies, is just like going above and beyond with the quality and, not just the modeling side, like, you pointed out the typography and the layout, the
Yeah.
white space, like around the card work, around the border, the perimeter, like the details
Yeah,
really count. So yeah.
It's not just the focal point of the picture here. I mean, there's a lot more to look at too. You've got the actual spinning image, but then you've also got all the detail in the description and in the border and the outlay. It's a beautiful piece, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like this one, it was funny. It took quite a while to sell these out because like I kind of realized that the marketing aspect of NFTs is just a whole nother beast. Rather, like, I don't know. I think I had like 50 of them minted. I was minting one per day for 100 days. Like that was the approach, and it was an OpenSea storefront contract. So, I mean, we're on to sort of doing our own ERC 721s now, but for this, it was a big learning experience, right? Like I wasn't selling any of them. And then finally I had to get onto Clubhouse and I started shilling my work. And finally just a couple cool guys were like, yo, like, what the fuck? These haven't sold yet. Like, these are insane. Like I'm buying one right now. And then it just sort of, the flywheel started picking up and then they all sold out. And the last one, it went on auction and sold for 4 ETH. So that was crazy.
Nice.
Number 100.
Awesome. Yeah,
Very cool.
congratulations. I love hearing stories like that too. And a lot of artists need to hear these kind of, stories too. And remember, put your stuff out there, right? And then worry about the marketing and let the market, discover you. And if you keep putting good work out there and quality work out there, it will be discovered. Somebody will, come along and see your work and appreciate it, because that's what good art does. It's like cream, it rises to the top. People like us that are collectors and appreciate art, appreciate things when we see them and come across them, and we don't really care about the dollar value. From a collection standpoint, you do, obviously, and if it's unapproachable and you can't afford it, obviously, that too. But man, I buy so much stuff, and we've already participated in so many things and touched so many quality pieces that were not expensive and that
Well,
became valuable later on. But man,
like I was just gonna say, like we talk about all the time, we're right now we're in the first mover stage
right.
for a lot of projects. The like you said too, the cream will rise to the top. And a lot of times in crypto, we forget to zoom out. Everything moves so fast all the time.
Yep.
You're constantly consuming so much, you forget that 5 years down the road from now, this is the kind of shit that people are going to be like, uh, where are the rare birds? Where are the drops that had less than 1,000? Where are the real artists that were rendering stuff digitally, that set themselves apart from the crowd back in 2021 when the entire market was just flooded. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And the pioneers and, people that were out there doing this stuff, again, love sharing stories like this, right? This is exactly what we want to share and, talk to people about. And it's been a pleasure, kind of learning more about them and hearing their story too. We
Absolutely.
didn't talk about Gaper. Like how the heck did you end up in crypto? You mentioned doing the rare one of one piece, and that's how you kind of ended up going on this journey. But before that, like how did you get exposed to crypto or Bitcoin, or how the hell did you end up here?
I really heard about NFTs from, I think the first person I heard mention it was Logan Paul.
Hmm.
And then I just downloaded the Clubhouse app randomly and I
You
saw
guys are
these rooms
making
on.
good shills for Clubhouse here, by the way. So I'm not a,
I grew up,
if this is how
no,
you
I'm
guys
not the
are
biggest fan
finding
of
people, I'm
Clubhouse
all for
anymore.
it.
Look, if this was like March, February, I'd be like, yeah, Clubhouse is the best. But, it's Clubhouse. It's not what it used to be, right?
I
But
gotcha.
back then, it was like it was great. There was rooms on NFTs. I got super involved, and like I had this click, like this, it just clicked in my head, like wow, NFTs are the future. And then I just went super hard at it, trying to figure out my like how I can create in this market and be successful.
Sure. And what Clubhouse did have that rush too. Like everything new and exciting, it kind of has that buzz. So I know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
And
But there's nothing wrong with that either.
the beauty of the emerging market we're in too is that people that really have that entrepreneurial mindset and have the drive and the application to go behind it, they really can be successful right now. We are literally witnessing a shift in the power. The power is literally being given back to the people. If we can continue to build on these systems and make it more readily available, more easy to use, then all of us are going to benefit as individuals. We're going to continue to weed out these major corporations. NFTs can be a big part of that. I really firmly believe that.
Definitely. And I wanted to officially invite these guys too. If you can join us, come to Miami, because this is exactly the kind of stuff we want to display. More in a festival atmosphere and celebrate each other and our victories and accomplishments and innovations. This is a little plug for our club here, but this stuff's popping up all over the country. I'm already starting to hear about blockchain gaming and some other things that are coming up towards the end of the year as well, all over the world. So again, if it's not our club or this convention, or clubhouse or wherever it is that you're going to go meet other people that inspire you, somebody to collaborate with, somebody to bounce questions off, learn from, go out there and find them, right? And again, if it's not us, if it's not these guys in the collection and their community that they've built around, this beautiful artwork, and these fine gentlemen that we've been able to meet and talk about tonight, then figure out what it is, figure out who it is, what your interests are. I mean, my gosh, again, if you can't find something right now to get interested in, around cryptocurrency, you just don't have a pulse, because whatever it is you're doing in your professional career right now, if you're still looking on the outside looking in, I can almost guarantee you it relates, in some way, shape, or form to this industry, or something that inspires you in your personal life or that you're interested in, or your hobby can be translated almost, if you have a passion for it, it can be translated into a business and put on, on the internet today, like almost seamlessly, right? And a hell of a lot more easily than it was, even 10 years ago. 20
And
years
to be
ago, there was
honest,
nothing like this, right?
yeah, crypto makes that easier too, to be honest. I mean,
Well,
it eliminates the borders.
well, the focus, again, on art, right? And artists just alone, right? So I'm an artist, right? I produce, like what we're talking about tonight, right? Some of the next great art and artists are going to come out of this revolution, this renaissance that we're seeing, enabled by people like us that, like I'm a tech guy, my spot in this is going to be more organizing, using this company to grow our network and expand our network so that we can use that reach, to also, expose art and artists and artwork, as well as games and entrepreneurs and people that are building projects, that are real, right? That aren't money grabs, that aren't, out there just on the take and scams and that kind of thing, because there's a lot of that out there. But we as communities have to kind of, reach together to eliminate some of that stuff. And again, if you've been around a while, it's depressing at times, and it has been in the past. But I really feel like, we're starting to move beyond that, right? And we're
I do
starting
too.
to, yeah, like we're really starting to get together. We're starting to find
I
the
think that
people like we're
negative
doing tonight.
connotation toward crypto in general is being lifted. I think people are starting to really see the benefits and the opportunity that there is out there. I mean, obviously, you look at Gaper and Cam, who both have really gotten involved in crypto just within the last 6 to 8 months.
I love it.
and
I
and
love it.
and that's what's awesome. I mean, we've had a plethora of experience as far as our guests go for our show. We've had everyone from pioneers in the industry to people that are just starting out, but the one common bond I see between the guests that we've had, everyone that we've worked with is putting out quality material. These guys are working hard to provide substance for the communities that they're working in, the communities that they're targeting. We were talking with Gaper before the show started, and they've built a robust Discord community. They work together with their community to make sure that they're interactive and that they know what their community wants. And that's important. That's why we work with our community. That's why we're so involved and we make ourselves approachable. That's it. It's been a joy having these guys on. It really has. I've learned a lot from them tonight, but alongside that, it's also inspiring to see some of the younger generation get as excited about the revolution we're experiencing as we are, you know?
I I do. I love what you just said there. And any of you guys, if you want to piggyback off of that, feel free without getting too mushy here. But
Yeah, right. I will
there's
say I do want to ask Cam, as far as the art side goes. I know you said you were working in the gaming industry. Have you crossed over at all into the blockchain gaming?
No, not yet, but I definitely believe it's just a matter of time, you know.
Gosh, you are so in the right club, buddy. You are so in the right space because I will talk your ear off all night long about games and blockchain gaming, buddy. So
Yeah,
Biff,
and like I
you need to
wish it would.
introduce Cam to the Lost Relics guy.
Yeah, no, like please, like link me up. I mean, I like gaming and blockchain. Like it's just, it's tailor made. Like it's perfect, and
It
it is the
really is.
future. So I mean, yeah, I'm so pumped on it. I mean, like I'm not gonna.
Imagine ownership of all of your game assets.
listening to
That's
these guys is
yep.
really exciting me, Doc. You know what I mean? Like every time
Yeah.
and it's part of the stupid stigmas in crypto that I hate. And again, I don't hate, but I dislike. Are hey, I've been around since 2010, right? So I know more than you do. Blah. Give me a
Right.
Cam and a Gaper here that are out there hustling, building
Yep.
some new shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care if it's your second week and you never touched Bitcoin in your life. You guys, have produced something special, very unique. This entire story, is fantastic and exactly what I love, right? And what we love as a
This is
community.
the content I'm here for.
This is it. This is why we're here, right? Talking to
Right.
the curio cards guys, talking to these guys, that just kind of used some inspiration, took a brick, and then laid their own down and built upon it, and that's kind of what crypto has done in the last, 10, 15 years. I mean, you're only talking about Bitcoin being around for what, 13, 14 years at the most. So it's
Right.
all new. Right, we're all here. We don't. There's no futures that are guaranteed for any of us. We're all out here, kind of figuring out our way, and there's no roadmap, right? And we're not asking permission. We're just
We're
doing
just
what
out here
feels right
building
in a lot of ways now, right?
out here building a beautiful network.
Yeah, brother. I love it. I love it. Uh, Cam, again, this is not going to be the last time we talk to you. So I'm glad we brought you on the show and we're able to display this tonight and get to know you guys a little bit better. But again, this is just like a welcome to the club officially. And we want to get more involved with your community as well and do a lot more collaborating and discussing things like you just talked about, as well as events, things in the future where we can get underneath the same roof and talk crypto. If it's not on a Zoom call like this, there's a lot of other formats and things that we can do. But the future is huge for this industry. The gaming part of it, the artwork, all these special projects coming together. Man, like I just, even some of the stuff that I'm talking to other event organizers and people that are on the ground floor, they're going to be rewarded because they're the ones that are sticking their necks out right now. They're the ones that are out there hustling. They're the ones out there, going to shows in Miami like I did, getting their cars towed. We're out there because we want to be, right? We're out there signing people up, learning, teaching them about wallets, not because we're necessarily getting paid directly for it, because we want to be there, right? Like I don't make money off of signing somebody up to learn how to use a Bitcoin wallet. That's not what this is about, right? It's about enabling people to use public money systems that are available to them and then watching the epiphany afterwards, right? Or the light go off and then adding those people to our network that, trust us, right? Because we provided value to them, taught them something, maybe added something to their business. We've been doing a lot of that too, right? Enabling artists to create their own businesses, create a website, start taking payments right away from people all over the world without the need for, intermediaries and third parties. Now you still need some bank accounts and, you know, US dollars for a lot of things to get anything done today. But again, you know, baby steps, things have to happen in sequential, you know, ways for us to grow and kind of, you know, I think some of these tugs on payment systems and like big corporations and stuff that we're talking about is more like more about adaptation, right? So there hasn't been any competition. They've been able to kind of dictate everything they want from a payment system standpoint from a long time for a long time, and now that future is changing, and that's why we're all here, right? We're all here to celebrate that, to use these payment systems to mint artwork, and you know, create projects and celebrate creators again, right? I mean, that's what's been missing, my God, from just this whole planet for so long. I just it's easy to get a little teary-eyed and, you know, nerd out and get excited, and listening to these guys tonight especially, you know, I just I'm real optimistic for not only our company and this network, but just for everything in the future. And there's a lot of shit in the world right now, right? There's a lot of bad stuff going on. So if we can keep focusing on this and, you know, it's sharing it with people and they're enjoying it, and I, you know, I'm all for it, right? Like
So
this is exactly what we love doing.
yeah, no, I love that. And you know, one thing that for me has been very surprising in this space in particular, like you know, I kind of hopped in, got really interested in the technology and you know how art could play a role, and then you know I got into the nitty gritty and just focused on, okay, I'm just going to produce some badass art. That was just my the only thing I was worried about, you know. But then as time went on, I seen that you know, you interact with people in the space, you meet people, you establish connections, and you know, even what we're doing right now, you know, super dope. I mean, I didn't even know Gaper, you know, 4.5 months ago or 4 months ago we met or whatever, and you know, I feel like I've known him for 5 years or something now. Like, you know,
Right.
we
Yep.
talk every day. You know, we got you know, lots of different homies, you know, on different things we're working on, and yeah, like you know, talking about the Chipto community. I mean, you know, there's only, you know, 299 holders right now, I think, but you know, we have a nice Discord. It's a real tight community.
Yeah.
Everybody's super cool. Like we have town halls,
Yeah.
come on stage. Everybody's coming to bat for us, and we want to give back and you know, provide as much value and just jam with everybody in the space and just like have that vibe. And
That's
that's what's blown me away. I had no idea that that was happening. Like, so yeah, I'm just like taken back by it, and I just love it. So yeah.
Cam, that's why Mayor and I wanted to take the fight public the other day against Nate and OpenSea. I mean, I say fight lightly. It's not like that. We just
Take the
want to make
conversation, you
yeah, we
know,
just want to
open
open the
and be transparent
conversation.
about it. There's a lot of people that are, you know,
Yeah.
have OpenSea collections that want things to be fair and transparent, you know, and that's
Yep.
it, right? And that's it.
Yep. And that's all we're about at Stacks, man, is like I said, just clearing up the BS, eliminating the noise, and going straight to the source, regardless of what it is. Whether it's we're researching or whether it's we're trying to resolve an issue.
Well, and
Uh,
removing the noise, which I know you guys had a problem with too. So you guys, you know, make your drop and then it's successful, and then all of a sudden there's a spin-offs of your project too, right? So people trying to copy, imitate, or you know, whatever your project, and then put that on OpenSea too, right? So I know that's a problem with a lot of you know, anything that becomes successful pretty much is imitated. But you know, I don't know. Did you guys actually run into a problem like that, you know, where somebody just straight up copied you know, Chipto Punks and then tried to, you know, pretend that it was their work?
Yes. Dude,
Okay.
there's some guy, he started a Twitter called like Chips Punk, like two P's, and he ran fake giveaways.
Oh my
Eh,
goodness. Okay.
like, and it was literally, our work. It was like there was nothing changed about it. It was just like
Literally
that
just
was just
copied,
insane.
right?
Literally just copied. Yeah.
So that's the thing about it too. And I don't think a lot of people appreciate that much as well. But anytime like you become successful or sell something, a product becomes popular, everybody rips you off and or your name or tries to, run a spoof to, you know, change your avatar just a little bit or your account name and then go after your followers or scam your community by pretending to be, something else. It's rampant on all the social medias. We're doing a lot of things and building tools to combat a lot of that stuff. A lot of it's bots and all that other garbage too, but those are just problems that we have to deal with now. In we're problems we're gonna have to deal with in the future too. So we just need to, be realistic about them. Understand that there's gonna be a lot of people imitating and copycatting out there. So that's why it's all the more important that, you know, quality projects are supported, that we identify them. If they need the blue check mark, just let's make sure that the proper person gets the blue check mark. And let's not worry about, necessarily changing rules or whatever on the fly, right? As long as they're visible and, everything's fair, I think that's all that's important at the end of the day. But there's definitely just a lot of copycat, you know, stuff going on right now. We don't like to see that.
Which
Yeah.
is a good segue into us offering you guys a chance to explain the name change from Chipto Punks to Chiptos.
Yeah, we
And
can just
that's
talk
all
about
I'll
it
divulge.
briefly.
I'll let you clear that up.
Yeah, so like really, we just want to make sure that we're conforming to just OpenSea. They're sort of not like even regulations, but I mean, yeah, we just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any sort of confusion of us being a derivative project, right? Like, so by removing the word punks out of there, we just wanted to make it absolutely clear that we're not related with punks in any way. We're not a derivative of punks. Yes, we might be inspired by some aspects of CryptoPunks, but it's pretty clear that our artwork is very, very different. So
Yeah,
we just wanted to
very
make sure of that.
original.
Yeah, correct. So we just wanted to make sure that that was, not seen in the name as well. So we wanted the name to not have the word punks in it. And it's just as simple as that. So yeah, we want to make sure that, on OpenSea, like there's nobody sort of being scammed. Like that there was actually that actually happened. People were spinning up fake accounts on OpenSea and selling the Chiptos. Like some people actually purchased a fake Chipto. So yeah, we just want to do everything we can to just make sure that we're coming correct, and we want to work with OpenSea and do the right thing. So at the end of the day, like that's all it is. And yeah, we're looking forward to just moving forward with that and working with OpenSea and keeping everything positive. So yeah, we just wanted to really get the word punks out of the name.
Very cool. Understandable.
Yeah,
It's
no,
nice
thank you
to
for
see the
sharing.
transparency. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that too. And again, that's going to be something that a lot of collections and people have to deal with in the future. So again, just talking about it, discussing it, like you said, being very upfront and honest and open and fair about it, because none of us want to see people get ripped off, right? Especially not the people that are in the collections or in the communities or running the companies like us, because we only want to see people have good experiences. We don't want to see them get ripped off, right? So,
Yeah, and you know what? Like for us, we're like, yeah, exactly. We don't want anybody to get ripped off, so we're trying to do everything we can on our end to ensure that. We can't, do much in terms of OpenSea. They have their own sort of policies and rulings, some of which are sort of unclear, and we don't understand them. But we just want to put our best foot forward to make sure that our brand is clear, everybody knows what it is, and you know, hopefully, you know, OpenSea will see that and appreciate that as well. So yeah, we're just trying to keep it clean, and yeah, hopefully everybody can recognize that and everybody can benefit.
I think
Understand.
so. Yeah, I think you guys are conducting yourselves very professionally. I applaud you for that as well. That's also going to separate you guys from a lot of other collections and people that just don't run
Yep.
themselves professionally like that. People notice that stuff, you know, and hats off to you guys, you know, again.
That's also one of the things we talk about all the time. Normalizing crypto, normalizing this whole craze that we call NFTs and
I was
the
gonna
mo-
joke and say normalizing 90% losses because every time I think about Travis and him saying that now, and that's, you know, that was a
yeah,
quote from our career card show. We're gonna normalize 90% losses, and it's true. You know what? Because honestly, I've had 90% losses, and if you're risking the right place, that doesn't really matter. But you know, it's all about talking about, you know, this industry and how it's very different. And
I've also seen a 90% loss turn into 100% gain.
right, or
So,
you know, see a 90% loss turn into 1,000x, right?
yeah,
Because that does happen. And again, you know, we're talking about trading or whatever is kind of irrelevant. But again, you know, even the curio cards like we were talking about, remember, you know, these things were,
longevity.
yeah, these things were going for you know, what, $25 each, and
Dude, they sold for 25 cents out of the vendors.
25 cents out of the vending machine as of like 6 months ago, and some of these are going for, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. An entire set of them is going to go up for auction here at Christie's, and I mean, it's probably going to go for a couple $1 million. So and that's probably a good way to wrap up the show, right? Don't be discouraged. Get out there, you know, beat this thing up. If you're having second thoughts about your drop or whatever, just do it, right? Just do it. Get with people to help you if you need some help. Come to us if you need some resources. You know, we're adding people to our network, like these fine gentlemen here every day, and love doing this, love putting people, you know, in our network so that we can help them, and they can help us too, right? I mean, I've learned a ton just from talking to you guys tonight. You've kind of inspired me, you know, in some other ways as well. It's just nice to kind of hear guys that are out
Very
there
refreshing.
hungry, yeah, professional, hungry, you know, not taking anything lightly either. But you guys want to go out there. You're not here wasting time, right? You want to go out there and kick some butt and do some damage. And I love that. I love that hustle. I love that spirit. That entrepreneurial spirit is very alive in this industry, and it's very infectious. And you know, it keeps us motivated. But at the same time, you know, we're gonna go get our R&R at the end of the month too, Doc. So I'm looking forward to getting on the beach and, you know, you're all, if you're in this industry, you guys are, you're gonna, I'm gonna play dad here for a second. Don't burn yourselves out. Get your rest. You know, eat right. Take care of yourselves. You're always
Yep.
gonna feel like you're behind the eight ball or rushed, or you know, you're wasting time if you're not working on something on your computer or screen time. But again, you gotta get away from the computer a little bit, you know, and live life and enjoy the things that are important. Share life experiences with your family and friends. um you know,
I'm
so
definitely guilty of that.
yeah, I'm just, I
Yeah.
know, I know you
I think we
guys,
all
right?
are,
We all, yeah. I'm
honestly.
sharing my personal experiences with you now, right?
Yep.
So hopefully that'll help you.
I know, Biff, you took your family out to the zoo today. We spent the family this afternoon, or I'm sorry, we spent this afternoon with some family that was in town. So I have been making it a point myself to really disconnect from the computer and actually make those moments too, because
Yeah, man.
those are important as well. You're not going to be successful if you get burnout doing anything.
Nope, and then it becomes no fun, right? And then everything just cascades from there. As soon as you stop having fun, that's when you need to
Yep,
get away. That's when you need to get
absolutely.
away and, you know, reevaluate or take some time off, and let those batteries recharge. So
Like to thank everybody tonight for joining us. What a great show. Cam, thank you for joining us. Gaper, appreciate having you on the stream tonight. Uh, it was a pleasure learning about you guys and your journey in crypto and what brought you into the NFT world. We look forward to helping promote your project. And from here, glad to have you in the STAXX Club.
Yeah, for me
Yeah,
too.
thank you guys so much. No, it's been really, really cool. Yeah, we'd love to keep in contact as we go. One quick one. So the Chipto that is in my profile picture, that one we're actually going to be giving away. So perhaps we can link up with your audience and
Oh yes.
yeah, and get that to a new unexpected Chipto holder. So yeah,
That'd be
that'll be
awesome.
cool. We'll let you know about that. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. It's been amazing.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
Truly our pleasure, Cam, to get to know you, as well as you, Gaper. Thank you both for taking the time to hang out with us, to talk about this collection, to talk about crypto, to talk about your experiences. That's what we love doing, man. We love sharing this stuff with people and talking real street crypto.
Normalizing.
Yeah, normalizing this stuff, man. We're all just people. We have a lot of different backgrounds and we come from a lot of different places and we're all over the world too. But that's what makes us special. That's what makes this special, right? That's what makes this like whole generational movement or whatever you want to call it very unique because it's only existing out here on the internet. You kind of got to know where to go find it. But once you kind of find people, like you were saying, man, there's so many people in this industry that are very approachable, that are very intelligent, that I learn from every day, and we collaborate and have a lot of fun. Mayor, you're one of those people too. I know you got quiet on us over there, but appreciate you joining as well. And I know that you're a huge Chipto fan and proponent, and these are guys we're gonna be following forever. So again, this is just kind of the start.
Right on.
Always good to talk to you, brother. Anything you wanted to add before we close it up here?
Yeah, tonight we're bringing our audience a solid project that was successful. And, a lot of times people are saying, how come I didn't hear about this? What's the next thing? You want to get in on the ground floor. So always, like we always tell you, like and subscribe. On Twitter, you want to go follow at Goldmann STAXX. And if you want to visit us on the web, STAXX.CLUB. And then you can follow the Telegram and just stay up to date with us, put alerts on Twitter, and then, follow the shows and stuff. And sometimes we're gonna bring you projects that have already had, wild success. And sometimes we're gonna be poking around, looking at stuff that's, just emerging. So stay in touch with us. And then everybody on Twitter, I'm at Mayor of Matic. Doc, I can't say Doc. It's a whole bunch of you guys.
Yeah, no, we put their links. We put your links on the show links too, so you can grab them off of like YouTube.
I don't make it easy.
I wanted to get Cam and I got Gaper Art. He's at Gaper Art on Twitter, right?
Yeah, and we posted the links in the chat too, so we got them.
Right on.
Yeah, but you're right though. We do a bad job.
Everybody and.
Yeah, we do a bad job sometimes of self-promotion, so I appreciate you saying that, Mayor. And we do need that. We do need that, from our followers, from our community. People, these days don't understand that just a like button or a subscribe button or a share means so much. It's huge, right? Because we're literally competing for attention from the same people that we were talking about that don't have good intentions out there. But we have to, right? We have to fight this fight. We have to grind it. And a lot of our socials are new as well as a club and an entity. That's not going to stop us, and we're going to grind this thing. And we're just getting started too. We're building our momentum. So
bottom line is we're not out here asking for permission, but we weren't asked to do it either. So we need your help to make this happen, guys.
Yep, that's very true. And appreciate you guys saying that. Appreciate all you guys joining us out there in internet land as well. I know you guys keep the comments coming and the questions. And that's why we like keeping these shows informal and interactive, because we get so much more in depth, and it's so much more fun to learn, what makes people tick and where their backgrounds came from. And, if you guys kind of notice too, I don't want to ramble too much. We'll actually close the show here, but if you guys are noticing like a pattern, a lot of the people that we've had on the show that are, exactly have the mindset that we want to, they're not the OGs or whatever, these crypto celebrities that are been around for 10 whatever years. They're 16, 17, 18 class. They're people that are just coming in now, right? And that's what I love, man. And I again, throw all that shit out the window, because nobody cares when you got into crypto, or when you touched your first whatever, or when somebody gifted you your first NFT. You're here now. So let's make the best out of it. Let's work together. Let's stop supporting people that don't deserve it, right? And let's start working a little harder to support the people and the projects that do deserve it. Right, Doc?
Absolutely.
All right.
Support the real people building real things.
What I'm talking about. I'm going to throw the ending up soon. We're going to play a little music on the way out, guys. Thank you again. I'm going to go around the room. Just thank everybody. Mayor, Gaper, thank you very much for joining. Cam, go out and follow the socials. Doc, have yourself a great night. I love you guys. Appreciate the time as well. All you guys out on the internet, thank you very much for joining. Hit those likes and subscribes. We'll see you next time. We have another great show coming up for you next week. And we'll follow these guys too. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great day, a great evening. Don't forget, keep staxing that planet. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Thanks again, guys.
Later, guys.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Next thing I know, I was walking on clouds.